I remember walking into my local electronics boutique in the early 90s and picking up a used copy of Toki going apespit for the Sega Genesis. I instantly fell in love with the game and I couldn't wait to play the new remastered Toki on the PlayStation 4. But will this one have you going absolutely bananas, or is it a big old pile of apespit? Toki is a remake of the original Toki arcade game from 1989. There were many home ports, but it was the NES and Sega Genesis versions that I played the most. The Genesis version was more of a remix with some changes and new levels and the like, while the NES was more faithful to the arcade game. This version of the game, though, is strictly a remake of the arcade title. There isn't a whole lot of story to Toki. You're playing as a man who gets transformed into an ape by a magical sorcerer who ends up kidnapping your girlfriend. Pretty typical damsel in distress scenario here. Toki does have a couple of options to tweak, whether it's in arcade mode or speedrun mode that you want to go into, as well as difficulties. There are 4 in total, changing up the settings and making the game more difficult by giving you less lives and continues. It is one of those games where if you run out of credits, it is game over and you'll have to start over from the very beginning. If you're in a level and run out of lives and you use a continue, you'll start that level from the beginning as well, though thankfully during the level, if you do have extra lives, there are plenty of checkpoints scattered throughout. Controls, as to be expected, are simple. You're able to move, jump, and be able to fire out your projectiles. There are different power-ups scattered throughout the levels that give you a variety of different firing styles, all from the original arcade game. Nothing new, unfortunately, was added as far as any new levels, any new bosses, or any new special abilities. Controls are faithful to the original arcade game here. Toki is pretty slow moving and has a bit of a floaty jump. All this works though around everything as far as getting past enemy projectiles. You can jump on top of enemy heads in order to bounce off of them, not only defeat them, but sometimes get some hidden stuff that's located up above you. At the end of each one of the levels, there is a boss encounter. They're all faithfully recreated from the original arcade game and are just as challenging and fun to fight as ever. Figuring out their pattern, sweet spot somewhere to stand in, and getting in their shots when you're able to, bringing down each boss felt satisfying. I can't help but wish they would have included a bit more, maybe an unlockable version of the original arcade title, maybe including some of the things that were changed up for the Sega Genesis release, or just something else that could have been extra thrown in to really push Toki over the top as a great remake. Presentation-wise, I dug it. I liked the music. I thought they did some nice jobs with some of the remixes. They have a jukebox. You can listen to the old tracks, so you can compare and contrast them for what little changes and such. As well as I liked the art style. All of the monsters, bosses, Toki being recreated here, I thought was actually really cool. And it was really fun going through the game and seeing this, all that nostalgia came back of those long days of playing it on NES and Sega Genesis. From the technical side of things, I'm happy to report there was no crashing or other major glitching. Toki is available now on the PlayStation 4 for $19.99. It does not have a Platinum trophy though. The game is also available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PC, and there's also a ton of versions of the original Toki out there as well. Overall, I think this was a nice remake of the original Toki. I just was wanting some more. At $19.99, even with the nice new art and music, it's a bit much for what you're getting here. 6 levels of arcade action, the speedrun mode is just the same, just you completing the same 6 levels, just doing so with a timer in the corner. It's a bit hard to recommend at the full $19.99 price. Even if you're a big Toki fan, you may want to wait for a sale on this one. I may be going a bit high on this one with nostalgia, but I'm going to be giving Toki on the PS4 a 7 out of 10. That's going to wrap up this review though. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoy.